Substance over hype. That message has resonated throughout Youth Month. The commemoration is coming to a close, but we want you, the youth, to remember working hard does lead to great rewards. As an encouragement to stay the course and not be daunted by fears or obstacles, here's today's package. A young man's story of triumph. Then, sweet encouragement for academic achievers. I'm Adrian Atkinson. It's all about the future generation between the pages.
The Office of the Prime Minister invites you to OPM Live Youth Edition at the Jamaica College Auditorium on Wednesday, November 29 at 6 p.m. Come and hear the government's plans for building a prosperous Jamaica for our youth. That's OPM Live Youth Edition at Jamaica College Auditorium, Wednesday, November 29 at 6 p.m. Brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister, building a prosperous Jamaica.
Everybody shout, yeah, 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 yeah.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, November 28. A re-energized relationship has been forged between Jamaica and the Dominican Republic with Monday's signing of a Memorandum of Understanding. The MOU, signed by the foreign affairs ministers of both countries, will ensure that regular meetings are held and issues of common interest are pursued. Among the areas of mutual interest are trade, investment, and climate change.
Both countries will sign later an agreement to promote multi-destination tourism. We agreed that we will negotiate a new air services agreement which will complement the MOU on multi-destination tourism. We have agreed to also establish a joint bilateral commission to enable broader cooperation between our countries in the areas of sports, culture, education, and other matters of mutual interest.
For his part, President Medina Sanchez said he looked forward to deepening cooperation on trade facilitation as well as security, particularly with trafficking in persons, arms, and drugs. The Dominican Republic's president invited Prime Minister Holness's wife, Juliet, on a visit to assess how his country's First Lady's office assists vulnerable groups such as children with disabilities.
Y haremos todo lo posible por estrechar esta nueva etapa de acercamiento.
From the Dominican Republic, we will do everything within our power to continue promoting meetings such as this one, and we will do everything possible to strengthen the new era of relationships between our countries.
During Monday's visit, President Medina Sanchez was conferred the Order of Excellence. Prime Minister Holness received the Order of Merit of Duarte, the Dominican Republic's highest award to the leader of a foreign government. The one-day state visit follows Prime Minister Holness's assignment to the Dominican Republic in May. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says Jamaica will continue to aggressively pursue a multi-destination marketing arrangement with Cuba, Mexico, and the Dominican Republic.
Mexico we expect to sign on next month in Fitur, and tomorrow we hope to sign with the Dominican Republic.
Minister Bartlett was giving Monday's welcome address at the United Nations World Tourism Organization UNWTO Global Conference, now underway in Montego Bay. The tourism minister says regional cooperation will also be sought in areas such as visa facilitation, pre-clearance arrangements, and aviation and airlift strategies for seamless movement within the region.
These for us are perhaps game-changing approaches, but a new architecture will see a stronger and more powerful Caribbean, where those of us in the north and those of us in the east can easily come together and reach each other and market a multiple of experiences cutting across the region for all our visitors.
The focus of the UNWTO conference is on jobs and inclusive growth for the sector through partnership. Meanwhile, Executive Director of the UNWTO, Carlos Vogler, says it is imperative that Caribbean countries embrace technology and innovation if the region is to achieve a greater share of the global tourism market. Mr. Vogler was addressing Monday's overview session on the future of tourism at the UNWTO conference. He argues that in creating smart destinations, tourism service providers will be able to maintain the competitive edge needed for sustainability.
We come from a background where we prepared products and the tourist adapted to those products in the form of package tours or whatever. That is no longer in place. Now we have to adapt ourselves to the tourist, and the technology is giving us the tools to customize products for each and every one of the different likes. We can no longer talk about markets. We talk about individuals because each of them is different.
Mr. Vogler says this presents a fascinating challenge for Caribbean destinations to be better positioned to tap into an industry where growth is approximately 4% annually. The UNWTO Global Conference concludes on Wednesday. And finally, the Housing Agency of Jamaica, HAJ, is encouraging persons living in informal settlements or on government-owned property to take the necessary steps to become regularized. General Manager of the HAJ, Gary Howell, says the agency is now working to regularize housing settlements in over 90 communities across the island. This work includes providing access to regularized water and electricity, as well as the build-out of roadways.
We're currently doing some work in Red Ground and St. James. We're putting some additional roads. Another community nearby, Copperwood. We have done some additional roads in Norwood, in Bascobel, in St. Mary. We have an informal community that we're regularizing there as well.
Mr. Howell was speaking at a recent JIS think tank. The HAJ has regularized over 30,000 households in the last 18 years. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Not at a time.
20% of our Caribbean teenagers get pregnant before age 19, interrupting their education and reducing their chances of earning a decent living.
I wish somebody did talk to me.
Parents and guardians, talk to your child about sex and help to prevent adolescent pregnancy.
What I would want to see as part of the cultural revolution, the cultural transformation in Jamaica, is that every single Jamaican youth believe that by the sweat of our brow, we shall eat bread. Regardless of our historical context of slavery and colonialism, nothing is wrong with hard work. And I am also of the belief that there is nothing wrong with smart work either. In fact, you should work hard at working smart. And I want it to be the ethos of the young people of this country, that there is no success without sacrifice, that there is no reward without work. That must be the core ethos of the country. And so your government is working on a policy of work, that every Jamaican should be involved in some form of work. We work to earn. No so? We work to learn. In giving, in volunteering, we work. We work to save. We work for our health. We work to protect our environment. So there are many areas in which every single Jamaican can be involved in meaningful work. Work that will make you a better person, make your family better, make your community better, and make your country better.
So you heard the Prime Minister. There is great reward for hard work. The obstacles may be daunting, but surely there are many solutions to the problem. Tap into that inner strength and fight to overcome. Next, how one young man did it.
Hi, my name is Dwayne Haynes, a former ward of the state. I ended up becoming a ward of the state because my mother became mentally ill shortly after I was born. I ended up on the streets, and from there the police came and took me to the Maxfield Park Children's Home, where I stayed for the first 8 years of my life until my grandfather became aware that I was in the Maxfield Park Children's Home and came and took me as a foster child. Being a foster child meant that I was in the direct care of a parent or guardian or somebody who the state vested their trust and interest in, but at the same time I was still under the ambits of the state per se. Some of the challenges that I faced while being at the Maxfield Park Children's Home included not being around family, not really having that close bond with persons in particular. At present, I'm kind of having those challenges, but it has improved drastically since I ended up being with my grandfather, who, though at the time he was past the age legally to adopt or to foster a child. It was a really good tenure. It was a really good experience being in charge of the student body, making critical decisions, at times intervening in certain matters as it relates to student-school relationship, school administration relationship. It was really good. Persons did not know I was a ward of the state, nor did they know that I had challenges growing up. Because my grandfather always instilled in me that you must always carry yourself in such a manner that you blend in, but at the same time you stand out. So persons don't need to judge you on that basis that you are a ward of the state or you are a bit less fortunate than others. They need to judge you based on the characteristics which you display to the world. And that's what I took. About a month or so before my tenure as head boy was about to end, I wasn't thinking about university any at all because I was looking at my circumstances which would have prevented me from pursuing a higher level of education. However, the Child Development Agency again intervened and they sought scholarships for me, in particular the COJO Scholarship, Children of Jamaica Foundation Scholarship, which is an overseas-based diaspora scholarship. It was from there that I initially started the University of the West Indies pursuing a degree in law, but due to financial challenges I ended up switching to management studies. I have no regrets because this doesn't stop my dream of achieving and becoming the best that I can be.
We have a couple of programs because it's in our strategic objectives at the CDA. So the youngsters we have in place from they're about 15 to 18, we ramp up what we call the permanency planning, which would aid them to have a smooth transition, re-socialization into the wider society. We have children going to universities, going to nursing school, medical school, and other vocational school also that we support. We have youngsters who have been awarded for their academic achievement, and we have got scholarships for them from a number of private sector organizations, and that has aided them in completing their studies. So they are doing well academically. We have to make sure that they also do well vocationally and ready for the world.
My ultimate dream is to become the Prime Minister, but in the next couple of years, leading up to that, I plan on working in the public sector to give back meaningfully to the holistic growth of Jamaica. Because for me, I see that there is need for active youth participation in government policies, direction, etc. My advice to each and every ward of the state is to not accept mediocre. We must always look ahead and say somebody else is worse off than me. So what am I going to do with the opportunities which come my way? Take those opportunities, get involved, be more extrovert. It's a bit hard in light of the fact that you are faced with adverse challenges such as rejection and so forth, but we can do it. I'm in the process of fulfilling my dreams. You can too.
Yet still I
This morning, I'm a proud Jamaican woman. And I know that I express the opinion of all Jamaicans. The entire Jamaica was there with you, Davina. They surrounded you with love and appreciation and admiration. I knew that you would be very successful as a contestant. And I agree with Twitter.
She followed up on Twitter.
Oh yes, I agree with Twitter. You really should have been crowned the queen. But you're our queen.
Watch Jenny, Auntie Blackie.
You're truly royal.
Thank you.
And I just want you to be an inspiration to other Jamaican women that be natural, because we are natural, beautiful people.
Stand up and get in the race.
I can become the master of my destiny.
Step up your stride, make we work like a harder. Do it like Veronica, more than a supper.
We can rise above the challenges and shine.
Was with passion in your heart. Make a plan and stop all the hyping. You think I saw we reach a the aging. I can, you can. Like our Olympians, every Jamaican can.
If you're watching the JIS, you're always in the know when it comes to government information. Keep watching, keep informed, and tell your friends. JIS, your #1 source for government info.
Students, if your parents are facing difficulties in funding your education, the government will help. The education component of PATH is taking the child from elementary straight through tertiary schooling. Don't be left behind. There is no excuse. Take a look.
Nearly 10 years ago, Aaron Nation was in a predicament. He had 3 daughters in school for whom he had big dreams, but very little means to make them a reality. As a security guard, he was earning a minimum wage, and his wife was unable to work due to an illness. Even sending his girls to school and providing for his family's basic needs was a challenge. What was he to do? The answer came from a colleague.
I was introduced by one of my co-workers one night while we was at work, and she was telling me how she benefit with her 3 children. So I found it interesting, so the very next day I went to the office and applied, and they gave me a form and complete the form and take it back to the office with information on it. And then after that, one of the social workers visited the house to confirm the information that was given on the paper. And then I was being informed that I was being enrolled on the program.
What Aaron's co-worker introduced him to was the Program of Advancement Through Health and Education, PATH. It's a cash transfer program funded by the Government of Jamaica and the World Bank. Since 2002, PATH has been offering assistance to thousands of parents like Aaron.
It helped my children them throughout school, especially the lunch program was good for me because all I need to give them was $300 each day to pay their fare and $100 to buy a drinks because they get a meal every day.
With the monthly stipend Path offered, plus the meals provided under the school feeding program, Aaron was empowered to ensure his girls never missed a day of school. He was finally able to put them on track for the bright future he dreamed of.
Compliance in attending school is a requirement of the PATH program. So if you do not attend school every day, the benefits are cut. You can lose them if the children are not attending school. So I believe that that is one positive contribution that it has made, where besides giving the assistance, that it has said that there must be compliance in school attendance.
Aaron's eldest daughter, Nicole, is grateful for PATH's support. She credits it with putting her well on the path to fulfilling her dreams of being a medical doctor. She's now an intern at the Spanish Town Hospital.
I began the PATH program when I was at Montego Community College. I was just starting college, and so my father received the monthly stipend to assist our household. The PATH program became a more fundamental part of my educational journey when during my last year of medical school, I received a grant of $100,000 to help finance my tuition.
Nicole's sister Marielle, who is now a trained teacher, also got help from PATH towards her tertiary education.
As soon as she was 18 years old, I went back to the office, complete the forms. They gave me a grant of $50,000, so I used it to help pay the school fee at Sam Sharp Teachers College. And then in the final year, I saw one day in the newspaper when it came out that final year student would be granted $100,000. So I have 2 children who was on their final year.
Now, only one of the nation's sisters remains on the program at the secondary level. Just like the nation's sisters, PATH has enabled many students to shine from the primary to tertiary levels.
PATH students have excelled. There's a youth ambassador program in the PATH program, and 16 persons were awarded at a function we had recently, the Mona Visitors Lodge. And in those 16 youth ambassadors, I mean, that's such a positive story. There was one medical doctor, there was an attorney, linguists, teachers, persons who have truly excelled and who can speak of the benefits of the PATH program.
Nicole was one of those bestowed the prestigious title of Youth Ambassador.
Being a youth ambassador, it is a privilege, it is an honor. I view it as a critical role, especially in helping to move Jamaica forward. We're an inspiration, we're a motivation, we're there to drive students and say, hey, you can achieve not just a high school education, but also a tertiary education. We will be going to visit schools, we'll be on the devotionals, we'll be encouraging students. Take the money, take the lunches, take whatever PATH provides for you and make it your own. Do your best in school, get an education, and the sky is the limit.
In addition to providing a monthly stipend, feeding young beneficiaries and providing school grants, PATH provides several other benefits for students and their parents.
We have the Steps to Work program, which is a program that allows the parents of the children to become gainfully engaged, whether in shops, setting up shops, rearing pigs, rearing chickens, so that they in time can come off. It's the graduation strategy to get people off of PATH, because of course you don't want people to remain on PATH for the rest of their lives.
Students also receive money for transportation to school, and those at the secondary level are able to sit 5 CSEC subjects free of cost, enabling them to meet the minimum qualifications for acceptance to university. And there are plans on the horizon for the monthly family stipend.
We have been looking at, and it's going to come through, increasing the benefits that we pay.
I would encourage any parents to try and don't let it go by, because it's a good program and it can really assist you through education. So if you're really serious about education, please stick to the thing, because it can work, because it works well for me. Not just well, but very, very well.
In addition to students, PATH beneficiaries include persons 60 years and over who don't receive a pension, persons with disabilities, pregnant and lactating women, and poor adults 18 to 59 years of age. If you need more information on the PATH program, contact the Ministry of Labour and Social Security at 922-9500-14 or visit their website mlss.gov.jm.
Let's talk the truth about ganja. Though it has medicinal benefits, it can also be harmful, posing a risk of mental problems, particularly to children, as their brains are not yet fully developed. Ganja use is associated with behavioral problems and poor academic achievement. Users can become dependent on the substance, and ganja smoking can lead to the use of hard drugs. Possession and use of ganja in Jamaica is still illegal for everyone of every age. Its use is only allowed with conditions: for legitimate medicinal purposes, scientific research, or as a sacrament in the Rastafarian religion. Learning all you can about marijuana will help you take the right path to success.
The Office of the Prime Minister invites you to OPM Live Youth Edition at the Jamaica College Auditorium on Wednesday, November 29 at 6 p.m. Come and hear the government's plans for building a prosperous Jamaica for our youth. That's OPM Live Youth Edition at Jamaica College Auditorium, Wednesday, November 29 at 6 p.m. Brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister, building a prosperous Jamaica.
Everybody shout, yeah, 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 yeah.
This is where the pages close for today. You may watch our features anytime at your leisure. Just click on one of our social sites. The website is also chock full of information which you may find useful. Until then, come back tomorrow on this same station when we'll explore other policies and programs being implemented by the government. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.